All right, switching now to the other major conflict. Today, Ukraine's president demanded a response from the U.S. and the rest of the world after new Russian airstrikes. Volodymyr Zelenskyy said the, quote, brutally savage attack killed more than 20 civilians as they were simply collecting their pensions. So joining us now from Odessa, Ukraine, is Bociurkiw. He's a global affairs analyst and a senior fellow with the Atlantic Council and the creator of the newsletter World Briefing on Substack. Michael, thanks so much for joining us. So in response to this new attack, President Zelenskyy said a response is needed from the United States, from Europe, even the G20. We know the president of the United States has indicated that he's unhappy with Vladimir Putin. Just a few weeks ago, as you recall, the president rolled out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin. He seemed to believe that there was an opportunity to finally end this conflict, but it doesn't appear that Vladimir Putin thinks the same way.
Yeah, good to be with you, Vlad. President Zelenskyy sounds like a broken record, doesn't he, when he says a response is needed, the West has to stand with Ukraine, but it only seems to be getting worse and worse. And, it's kind of a split screen reality we're seeing when we look, for example, towards Paris, and there are talks there about a tripwire force or a coalition from the winning for post-war Ukraine, for a war for Ukraine when there's peace. But at the moment, it's literally raining down bombs and missiles. I watched some of the footage on Telegram from that village struck over the past 24 hours, and absolutely horrific. So there's real concern here that Ukraine can no longer do this on its own or as independently. And I mean, I can't give away too much detail, Vlad, but I can tell you from my daily walks around Odessa, I am seeing signs of possible lack of air defense system. This is a world port here that feeds the world. And when you see those gaps happening, the whole world should take notice.
As you said a few days ago on X, Michael, that it seems obvious that Russia doesn't want to end this war diplomatically. And that was sort of the analysis that was coming in even as President Trump rolled out that red carpet for Vladimir Putin, which was, this is a great opportunity for Putin. He can show himself on the world stage with the president of the United States, which is, that photo opportunity is worth its weight in gold, but that he had no intention of ever meeting with Volodymyr Zelenskyy simply because he views Zelenskyy as illegitimate. And thus, it seems, if anything, the attacks on Ukraine have stepped up, including almost attacking a government building that is normally pretty well protected with air defense artillery.
That's right. And I think the fact that a Russian missile, we don't know if it actually struck the building. It could have been hit in the air and then it fell down. But that does indicate some gaps, I think, in their defense systems. But going back to Alaska, Vlad, I mean, I call it a circus. On the one hand, you had President Trump lifting Vladimir Putin out of his diplomatic coffin and putting him on the world stage. And then you seem to have had Donald Trump, drink spiked Russian Kool-Aid. Now he's parroting Russian lines. And I mean, how is Vladimir Putin showing himself to be a man of peace when he continually bombs Ukrainian cities? It's kind of mocking Mr. Trump. But he's also doing things like saying, yes, Mr. Zelenskyy is an illegitimate leader, and then saying, yeah, I'll have talks with him, but he has to come to Moscow. I've talked to a lot of Ukrainians since that ridiculous statement was made, and everyone agrees with me, Vlad, is that if Mr. Zelenskyy were to go to Moscow, it would probably be a one-way ticket.
Wow. All right. Stark words there. Bociurkiw joining us now from Odessa, Ukraine. Thank you very much for that analysis. Appreciate it.